the church says that marriage is the loving union between a man and a woman, but that same loving union with the same sex, you're saying it's not
marriage.
It's not marriage.
Correct. Marriage, right, is that kind of romantic and the loving union between husband and wife, right? And part of the church teaching for marriage is that they have, marital relations. They have sex. They have marital relations where, through God's grace, a new life, a child could be born. And with the child being born, through God's grace, the child is being born into a family already. Whenever a man and a woman engage in sex, it should be, there's life. There could be lifetime consequences, and because of a child, right? It's a lifetime consequence the person's going to be living. Because of that, the child has a right to be born into people who are committed to it for life. And the church sees that commitment is marriage, and from the commitment of the husband and wife, they've committed to each other, and they've committed to any children that may be born through their union. So that's really the heart. That's one of the purposes of marriage. One, the purpose of marriage of growing in love of husband and wife, and the birth of new life and the growth of the church. The two they are a part of. It is one of the purposes the church sees of marriage. And sex within marriage is considered a holy thing. You receive graces from that. And sex anywhere else is a sin, whether it's two homosexual people having sex or two heterosexual people having sex. If they're not married, whether they're 100 years old or whatever, it's still sex before marriage, and it is a sin. And both of them need to try to stop their situation and try and repent in some way.
Right. Oh, I think that concludes our interview with Father Paul. I'd like to thank him. And we have a question for Zach right here.
All right, what's the question?
What commandments are broken when someone commits the sin of homosexuality? Take your time.
Isn't it like, it could be adultery, I think?
It is adultery. The sixth commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. Contestant is Aislinn here, so we're going to ask her a question. Aislinn, does the church condone, how does the church condone homosexuals versus homosexuality?
The church doesn't really condone homosexuality, but with homosexuals, the church accepts them because everyone is born differently. But if they want to get married, they can't. It's not really considered marriage. It would be considered a union.
Question number two. Well put. Zach, how many states allow same-sex marriage in the United States?
Well, there was 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50, 37.
I like your logic on that. There are actually 37 states. Yes, 37 states that allow same-sex marriage. Well done, Zach.
Hey, what's up? This is our third contestant. Hi, Polly. How are you? I have a question for you. What is the commandment that is broken when the homosexuality sin is committed?
I believe it's adultery.
Excellent. It's a sixth commandment.
How many states allow same-sex marriage?
Well, there's 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50, I think it's 37 states.
What?